Stupid science. Stupid science.
Science. Pew, pew, pew.
It is Stupid Science with Lisa, JD, Stupid, and Science. All four things are here. And let's get started with...
Stupid science. Start with the stupid criminal section, as always.
We better.
As usual, we start off right here in Florida.
We
Stupid
better.
criminal. We are going to be moving around the country a little bit this episode.
We got to start at Florida. It's
We
the
always start in Florida.
Stupid criminal capital of the world.
And that's a fact.
We have oranges,
That's a fact.
we have theme parks, and we have Florida man.
From our unemployed randos to the governor of the state, stupid criminal.
We grow Florida men right here
all shapes and sizes.
in the Sunshine State.
But here we're going to start off with over in Marion County.
It's beautiful
here in Florida.
there.
Officer Batts pulls a man over on the tollways. You know, when you're going on the turnpike, right? You got to pay a toll.
Yep, there's a troll there.
You got the toll booth right there.
You don't have quarters, you have to answer his riddles 3.
Nowadays, everybody's got the Sun Pass or whatever. Different states have different things. In Florida, they got the Sun Pass, so you can go through and it'll just scan your pass. If you don't have a pass, it'll take a picture of your license plate. He's got no license plate. He's figured out how to get past the system.
Nice.
He's just going to go through with no
Loophole.
license plate.
How can they charge to the license plate if there's not one on the vehicle?
Exactly.
Think about it. Modern
Clever.
solution.
He's thinking. There was one problem with his plan that he did not foresee, apparently.
Impossible.
Was that what if there's a cop on the road who notices that you don't have a license plate?
Someone that enforces vehicle law on the roadway? On this tollway?
So he's pulled over there by
Of course he is.
by Officer Batts. And as the officer is approaching the man to get his information, the officer is pulled over. The motorcycle pulls over. The officer pulls over, so his cruiser is in front of the motorcycle. He gets out, starts walking back towards the guy on the motorcycle.
Florida man.
And Florida man decides his best move at this point is to accelerate his motorcycle directly into the back of the police cruiser.
So you don't know how physics works either.
So now, instead of paying a toll, toll booth,
$50, maybe?
Florida man opening up this one, getting first pole position in the
Florida
stupid
man,
criminal
stupid
segment.
criminal of the year. We got to get those trophies made.
He properly attacked the cruiser with his motorcycle.
Florida man is all about making his own rules. You know, if I don't have that license plate, you can't
get me.
You can't, yeah.
And if my motorcycle's destroyed, how could I have brought it through a toll booth? What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. It's a rusted motorcycle.
It's
I have
wrecked.
pictures from the mechanic here of how wrecked it is.
It's not drivable.
How could I have
I
driven it
rest
through?
my case.
I mean, I'm not a big city lawyer.
Oh, buddy. We wish you well.
Oh, what else is going on? Oh, Jonathan Kaiser, age 33 of Port Orange, Florida.
It's lovely there.
A traffic stop, simple traffic stop. This is the thing. This is one of my favorite things about Florida, man, is they love to take simple little traffic stops that would have been a ticket or whatever, or a toll booth fee, and turn it into like these monumental, horrific things that are ruining their lives, the rest of their lives.
That escalated quickly.
Hold my beer.
Hold my
moments.
beer.
So he's getting pulled over for a traffic stop of some sort. Decides he's gonna flee
Bye.
in his Nissan Maxima. He's taking the police on a high-speed chase.
What you don't see in the Fast and Furious movies?
So, the Volusia County Sheriff's Office
It's a late model Maxima.
They got an aerial unit up there. They throw
They're
down
funded.
they throw down some sticks to damage the tires. It ends up in a backyard. They've got him cornered. Him and his passenger, Caitlin. They abandon the vehicle. She runs one way.
Not the Maxima.
And Jonathan, he goes up a tree.
Okay.
And the police,
So he knows police are behind him, in front of him, and above him.
he goes up a tree.
If I'm in the middle of there's cops on the ground and there's cops in the sky, but this tree's midway. They don't have jurisdiction in this tree.
The police on the radio can be heard describing him scurrying along the branches of the tree like he thinks he's Tarzan or something, trying to get away.
We got a code spider monkey. I repeat. He's pulling a spider monkey. Usually on foot, they're like, we got a rabbit.
They try to tell him that he needs to come down and not to run away because they've got a canine here who's going to come after him.
Oh, they got the dog. You've lost this.
He drops down from the tree and
Like a
tries to
coconut.
run. First, he dangles from the tree for a moment to make sure the dog has a chance to really pinpoint him.
You got my scent,
Then
doggy?
he drops and tries to run.
You see what your target is? You got a clear shot?
At which point the dog catches up with him.
No freaking way.
It's hard to believe, right?
He
That
did
he didn't
not
escape.
outrun a focus trained canine. Hard to believe.
Draco was the name of the dog.
They got Malfoys on this? You didn't stand a chance, buddy.
Did not. For our next story, we're gonna shoot on up to Philadelphia, my old stomping grounds. But this one actually is not so much a stupid criminal story; it's just a bizarre,
I'll be the judge.
weird story. So there's a mint in one of the government's mints for minting money, making money, printing coins and stuff.
Good to know.
Is in Philly.
You can turn that off. We don't need coins anymore, but thanks. You can shut that down.
It's funny you say that because so there's a truck that is a tractor trailer truck full of nothing but dimes got robbed.
Got robbed.
Got robbed. Apparently
Stupid criminal.
the thieves got away with $100,000 worth of dimes.
How many bags of dimes? Jesus.
And there's dimes scattered all over the parking lot. I'm still confused by the part of why was there a truck of dimes, and the truck of dimes, its destination, Florida.
You know darn well who's still
Why?
using those dimes.
Why were they bringing a
College-
truck of nothing but dimes?
Because
to Florida?
Florida is college students and grandmas. They're the last ones using dimes.
That's the only information they give us is that the tractor trailer driver had picked up the dimes from Philadelphia Mint on Wednesday and was planning to transport them to Florida on
Dimes.
Thursday.
So
Why?
we could have dimes.
Just dimes, not a collection of coins that were needed to be moved to some banks or whatever. Just dimes alone.
Sacagawea dollars
What
for some reason.
possible reason could there be for a truck of nothing but dimes?
No good reason.
And these guys raided it.
As
now
a
they've got
Floridian, I appreciate that you didn't let that garbage come to our state. We don't need those.
And what do you do with how do you clean $100,000 worth of dimes? How do you launder that? $100,000 of stolen dimes.
And there's a lot of pinball machines. There's a lot of those gumballs with those hard ass gums still in there from the 80s. I'm walking out with them.
Who's stealing dimes? These guys.
Well,
These
Philly.
guys, yeah, Philly.
Oh,
That's how
I know
bad,
the
that's
answer
how
to
bad
that.
things are in Philly. They're now stealing dimes.
Stealing
They're
dimes.
stealing dimes. They probably thought it was a bag of dime bags when they were told about the job. They got
Their
a
boss
truckload
was-
of dime bags over there.
Their boss
they were
was
like,
so
these are
unhappy.
actual dimes.
Oh, no.
What the hell am I supposed to do with this?
Oh, dimes.
I can't even buy weed with this.
In bags. Oh, this is useless. Take it anyway, though.
In Missouri, Harrisonville.
Okay.
We're going to next. We got a couple.
we have to.
We got a couple of senior citizen stories coming up in the ranks today.
Florida gray bands.
78-year-old woman.
Yep.
With 2 past bank robbery convictions.
I'm sorry, who?
Is now facing new charges after she apparently walked into the bank in Missouri, handed them a note that said, "I'm robbing you," and then went on to add in the note, "I'm sorry if I scared you."
Grandma.
Grandma robbing the bank. She's like, "Sorry if I scared you, honey.
She was
Everything's
raised
okay with
right."
you. Don't worry, baby. It's all right. Just put the money in the bag, and I
Calm
won't
down.
murder you, you little bitch."
Yeah. And I brought you a sandwich because you're looking kind of thin. But put my money in that bag, though. None of them ink pads. Thank you.
She demanded 13,000 small bills. Thank you. And then the note
we
adds,
got dimes.
the actual quote in the note is, quote, "Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you." End quote. Her third bank robbery.
Some cookies. Your Honor. I mean, she said she was sorry.
She smelled strongly of alcohol when officers stopped her
way.
less than 2 miles away with cash scattered on the car's floorboard, prosecutors added.
Oh man. Well, she should. Well, see, this is how you messed up. This is when they remake Ocean's 8 with some new old chicks in it. And it'll just be, you need the driver. She's the old lady driver, so she drives slow with that left turn signal on. You need the lookout, but the lookout's talking to the security guard. Like, I'm trying to set you up with
and
my
in the
niece.
walker, you've actually got like a rifle. It's like components of a rifle that you put together, or the tools for opening up the safe and whatnot.
Nice. Yeah, because you got to have the tech person.
Right.
I love a heist, a movie.
So, next story, we're coming back to Florida
We better.
for
Keeping it
also a crazy story. Palm Beach, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
This a 66-year-old woman
Spry.
drove her Rolls Royce
Uh-oh.
through a backyard on Canterbury Lane, Palm Beach. Is a very rich area, right? Through the yard. Through the yard, across the seawall, damaging the seawall, and onto the beach, damaging the Rolls Royce, the beach, the seawall, all this stuff. But that's all minor, because as she was crossing through the yard, she slammed into a statue that is apparently worth $3 million, damaging the statue, a Damien Hirst sculpture. Damien Hirst made these sculptures. He created these sculptures of... They're like, yeah, there's the picture. You heard that exclamation. That's a picture of the Rolls Royce head first into the beach that she just saw.
It also looks like sculpture, embedded into the sand.
So the person whose yard it is, the Tannenbaums, is such a convoluted story, right? The Stephen Tannenbaum, that's whose yard it is, who's a trustee of the MoMA in New York, the Museum of Modern Art, and has apparently
Royal Tannenbaum
been protested against and picketed instead because he owns like a significant portion of Puerto Rico's debt. Apparently he encouraged Puerto Rico to take debt and then bought up all that debt and has been leveraging that debt and has basically profiteered off of Puerto Rico's debt. And then this woman who drove her Rolls Royce through the yard, damaging this statue, which is based upon a fictional stolen history of other cultures to profit for himself in this guy's yard who's been profiting off of Puerto Rico's suffering. She's like, I don't know why I did it. I don't remember any of that. 66-year-old woman. It's just like, I don't know what happened.
I love it. She's like, with a rebel yell. And then as soon as it happened, I'm just a poor little 66-year-old woman, and that bastard can suck it.
Pretty much is the story. It's just this very weird, convoluted story. There's so much going on.
I don't know him. I never met that dick.
This hedge fund that he co-founded, this guy Tannenbaum, owns $2.5 billion of Puerto Rico's debt. Anyway, so that was weird.
I love it.
So some strange stuff going on in Florida.
Every corner of Florida.
Always some weird stuff going on in Florida. You don't know.
You can't swing a dead orange grove without hitting something weird. I didn't want to say a dead cat.
That was not quite folksy.
What? If I'd said y'all.
We're gonna end this section. Every once in a while, I like to try to find a happy story, an uplifting story to end the section.
Yep.
That's not just because so many of these stories, kind of break your heart about humanity. So I like to find something uplifting.
Oh, you have to arrive at this show pre-heartbroken.
So Geraldine Gimblett.
It's a great drink.
Resident of Lakeland, Florida.
Beautiful there.
Senior citizen. She has spent the last decade paying for her daughter's cancer treatments, used up all of her money. Her daughter, just the other day, walked out of the hospital, full remission.
Excellent.
Cancer's all gone.
Congratulations to both of you.
On that same day, Geraldine, who had spent all of her savings, everything she had on getting her daughter cured of cancer, won the lottery. $2 million.
Geraldine.
From a $10 scratch-off lottery ticket. Apparently, the gas station clerk was like, we're all out of lottery tickets. And she's like, no, look again. There's got to be one. And he found one last one, stuck in the back, gave it to her. $2 million.
That's amazing. Who's going to play her in that movie?
Right?
That's friggin' awesome.
One in 4 million chance.
Yeah. In Lakeland was like the lightning strike capital of the country.
Oh, yeah?
So it's like and people always say the chances of winning the lottery or...
Yeah. And
I love it, of course.
Places.
Yeah, in Lakeland.
That's funny.
That's great, Geraldine.
So yeah, that was really sweet. I thought it was nice of all the people. Nice little uplifting
Nice.
thing. Her daughter's cured. She's, oh, but I'm out of money. Oh, but here's all my money back and more. That's a nice
I love that story.
little happy ending story
Glad
there
that
for you.
happened.
And now we're gonna take a musical break. And when we come back, science news.
Science.
Here you go. Stupid science. Stupid science. Stupid science.
Science. Pew, pew,
Don't forget, y'all. Need something to read, some summer reading. The Disappeared by J.D. Adler, coming out this June 1st. Paperback, hardback, ebook. JDAdler.com. You'll be able to get your copies.
Very exciting.
Very, very exciting. You ever wonder what missing persons and Men in Black and aliens and Big Feet all have to do with each other?
I have.
The Disappeared by J.D. Adler will reveal all.
Such a great book. And we're back. Welcome back to the Stupid Science Podcast with JD Adler, Lisa Booker, and now
Science news.
Science.
Where shall we begin? Let's start the day off.
Okay.
The episode of Science News off with some exciting things going on in health news.
I love health. Science.
Bringing us to our next health story.
Triple health.
Where we're talking about aging and studies into aging.
Why are you looking at me?
So, in Australia.
It's beautiful there.
Yes. So a study has come out.
Especially Parramatta.
Yes, let's start with that. So according to this study being done between Sydney, Australia and Cologne, Germany, these two different universities, UNSW in Sydney and the University of Cologne in Germany, working together, and they've been studying how aging is affected in different types of life. Humans, fruit flies, rats, mice, worms, all involved in this. This is published in the Journal of Nature on April 12th. It's a fascinating study. And so everyone who follows these kinds of studies is aware that, as cells reproduce over time, in every 100 days or so, a human being has entirely new cells in their body. It's completely reproduced. And over time, as this reproduction of cells occurs over and over again, they get less efficient at reproduction. And they start to break down and get weaker cell walls, etc., weaker connections, less efficient reproduction, and so you start to get lines in your face, and your organs start to not be as efficient at their jobs and stuff, because the cells that make them up are not as good as the ones that they were making
Garbage.
20 years ago, 40 years ago.
Copy of a copy of a copy.
Exactly. And so they're studying these in Australia and Germany.
Yep.
This study published in Nature.
Defeat aging,
why this was happening, why the cells were not reproducing as well after 100 generations as they were at only 5 generations.
Got it.
And apparently there's Pol2, RNA polymerase 2, which is shortly called Pol2, moves along the DNA strand as it makes an RNA copy. Pol2 becomes faster with age, but less precise. And they were able to find that, and this is true across all these different creatures they were studying: humans, worms, mice, plants, everything. That was the problem. Pol2 becomes faster, which is the movement of this type of RNA along the DNA strand, and that makes the copy. It moves faster, but it becomes less precise, and more error prone. As with each generation. And
Quantity, not quality. Faster, not better.
They were able to, by that, with diet and insulin adjustments, they can delay this, they can alter it in all of these different types: fruit flies, mice, everything.
Oh, they are able to
Right.
slow it a bit. I'm looking at you, Paul, too. I
And
have a new enemy.
And if they were able to slow this chemical, this Pol-2
Enzyme,
aren't down, the animals live 10 to 20% longer than their non-mutant counterparts.
Ooh, fascinating, because I have a lot of books to read.
And when they use gene editing to reverse the mutation, then the lifespan shortened.
Wow,
So they established a definite causal connection, according to the professors involved in this.
Wow. All right, well,
So
get on this.
This genetic information is tightly wound around a protein called histones. And these histones are in bundles called nucleosomes. And by analyzing human lung cells and umbilical vein cells, researchers found that aging cells contained fewer of these bundles, these nucleosomes.
Nucleosomes?
Which made a smoother path for the Pol-2 RNA type to travel faster along. So when the team was able to boost the expression of these bundles, it would move at a slower pace, which meant their lifespan. Yes, the Pol-2 would move down at a slower pace because there was more speed bumps, these bundles, and so the lifespan would last longer.
Well, now I have a new friend, nucleosomes.
So basically, they discovered why organisms age.
Yeah.
It's because
It breaks down while aging.
Again, it's because proteins called histones gather into bundles called nucleosomes. And these nucleosomes act as speed bumps as the RNA is called an RNA polymerase 2, or Pol-2 for short, as it moves along the DNA strand making a copy.
Yep.
Those bundles act as a speed bump, slowing it down, which gives it time to be more efficient. And as you get older, there's fewer of those bundles, and so it moves faster and therefore less efficient, which, I'm sure my dad would love to rub that in about how working slower makes you more efficient and better at your job. But I'm not going to focus on that right now.
Neither here nor there.
The point is that they know now, and they know how to, because they've done it in worms and stuff, they know how to affect the body so that the histone bundles are there instead of disappearing over time.
Love it.
And therefore can slow the aging. And so
I
they
would
can
like to buy a
legitimately,
bottle of.
And then according to Selman, Colin Selman, who studies aging in mammals at the University of Glasgow in the UK, talks about how, quote, there may be opportunities to effectively repurpose some drugs to investigate their effects on aging.
Take that right to Hollywood, son. Because
there's already drugs in the marketplace that affect this Pol-2, but for other reasons and in other ways.
Oh, fascinating.
And so he's saying there's existing drugs that can be manipulated based on this study.
You're not even starting from...
Once it goes a little further down.
Zero, right. Yeah. You're just altering,
I mean, they're obviously not going to do that tomorrow. They're going to want to do more studies and such.
Get on it. I found a wrinkle.
But this sounds like a legitimate...
avenue to pursue.
Like they've actually found a way to approach, which is kind of terrifying because, I mean, how much older do we want certain people to get? But on the other hand, I could live forever.
Catch up with me. I'm going to live forever.
Do you want to live forever, though?
Yep.
Begs questions like that. I mean, how long do you really want to live? I mean, after 500 years. Right, you came up with the exact number I was using as an example. After 500 years,
Ask me again. And I'll see if I want to re-up for another 5.
I guess that part of it would be affected by if everybody's living forever, too. Like, if it's only you, like the vampire thing, that's, you're watching everyone you love and care about die and get old and suffer and die, and then you keep going. That's torturous. But if everybody's living forever... or 500.
Torturous in a different way.
All right, on that note, let's go to our next story. We're going to space for
I get to decide who lives forever. That always works out well.
That does sound like a good plan. Giving one person that authority.
You're welcome.
So, going to space for our final two stories. We're going to get some space science news.
I love space. It's beautiful there.
So apparently,
Yeah.
so we all know Earth, its
Heard of it.
Its companion is the moon, right?
Yeah.
But apparently, we have another companion.
I almost said Venus. What? Go ahead.
Apparently, we have another companion in orbit with us that we didn't know about all this time. It's been hanging out, stalking us at a distance.
Creeper.
Asteroid.
Watching us while we shower. You're gross.
Asteroid 2023 FW13. Seriously, NASA, you got to come up with better names.
Asteroid. Who cares?
It circles the sun in sync with Earth,
Yeah.
making it our planet's quote quasi-moon.
Sanctuary.
It sweeps out halfway the distance to Mars, and then comes back in halfway to Venus. In its orbit around.
Doesn't want to get too close because it's a creeper.
In its orbit around the Earth as we orbit the sun.
Nothing to do with gravity. It's just being a creeper.
It's just being a creeper. Creeperoid.
Creepazoid.
It was first spotted on March 28th by scientists using the Pan-STARRS Survey Telescope.
Okay.
Snaps pictures of the night sky from its perch atop Haleakala. No, that's not right. Haleakala, a dormant volcano on the Hawaiian island of Maui.
They've got great places to view the stars.
They do. So, our final story of the day.
Where are we? We still in space?
We're still in space.
Yay!
The European Space
I
Agency
can't breathe.
is sending a spacecraft, or already has sent a spacecraft, to explore Jupiter and 3 of its largest moons, and most intriguing moons, according to the article.
Oh.
This is the Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer mission, or JUICE. See, that's how you name a thing. JUICE.
Nice.
That's how you name it. It's JUICE. Not XK3-2170.
Juice is stalking us again, and people are like, what?
Juice.
What you talking about? I'm all listening.
XK3-2170 sounds like it's in jail, and that's his prisoner number. Juice sounds like
Might
maybe
be.
he's going to be going to jail.
Before and after.
But Juice was launched Friday at 8:14 a.m. Aboard an Ariane 5 rocket from Europe's spaceport in Gros, French Guiana. All right, so from Africa, French Guiana. So the spacecraft has said its first words from its new home in space.
What did it say?
We hear you loud and clear.
Beautiful. Respectful.
It will take 8 years to reach Jupiter.
And then it is going to be a creeper and a stalker
And
and
it's gonna-
report back.
Yes, it is going to attempt to determine if there is ice water ice and or life. They may contain subsurface oceans that are potentially habitable for life.
Can we use it or exploit it?
Yes.
'Tis our mission.
Or eat it.
Use it.
So that's pretty cool. So the
All right.
Europeans are going
Juice.
to Jupiter.
Juice is going
Juice.
to Jupiter.
Juice. Juice gonna go check out
Jupiter and its moons, the big ones.
Yeah.
I don't-
Ganymede, Callisto, and Europa.
In Europe. Okay.
So that is science news for this month's.
We got some science. We have some really optimistic health news.
Got some good health
I'm
news.
It's good. It's all good for me.
I mean that aging information. I think that's
Yeah.
that's fascinating. If they can find out that's why things are breaking down, and then they can
Our stupid
build
hearts
it
are
back up.
less efficient when we're older.
Right.
Idiots.
And then they can figure out a way to build them back up. I mean, that seems like that could affect numerous diseases
Yeah.
of the brain, of the immunodeficiency systems, all kinds of things could be affected by this breaking down over time, and the ability to rebuild.
Slow
the fact
that.
that if they've actually figured out a way to rebuild that back up, I mean, that's gonna change. I have to imagine
Yeah. Game changer.
it's gonna change so many people's lives. I'm sure it'll cost like $1,000 for half a dose, but
Yeah. No comment on that. But the scientists that we talked about, as every episode that we talked about at the end of the episode, are making the opposite choices of our
best
stupid
interests.
criminals episode.
Yep.
So you laugh,
Laugh
you
and you
learn.
learn.
Stupid science. JD and Lisa.
that's a wrap.
Good times for all. We love you.
Peace.